Hi everybody, welcome back to City Skylines. We're here in Quayside. We've got our little power sector down here. We've got a couple of coal plants up in this busy industrial section, which, as you can see, has a vast amount of traffic coming in and out of it. This is becoming a bit of a hell zone. But I've tried to sort of improve that by adding this sort of intersection here. I don't know whether it's worked. I will be honest, I think I might have just made it worse. But let's hope not. So I'm going to drop in just a little bit more commercial here, just to give these guys a little bit of a better time. And we're going to press play. So we're on 3 speed. From what I could hear in the background there, it might have been my stomach, but I think it might have been a storm. And I don't know if I have disasters on. If I'm totally honest, I can't actually remember. So hopefully not. But we shall see. And garbage collection still isn't great in certain places. I am actually just going to de-zone that little section, because these fucking guys are making my life so difficult. They can fuck off. And we're going to demolish them too. No, we don't even have to. They did it themselves. So we've got rid of that little problem section. Some of these guys are still struggling for garbage collection, but sooner or later we're going to hit that 7,500 mark, which will give us access to incineration plants, which are great. Not only do they produce power, but they do also collect the garbage. So over here we've got a real problem with education, and up in this sort of weavy area, which I'm yet to come up with a name for. I kind of like the Dangus because that's what it looked like when I was building it, but we'll see. So bam, those guys are a bit happier. Capacity's a little bit better, because we were sort of over, and we're at cash for the time being. Some people are moving out. I think that's just where I just destroyed like 3 people's houses in the process of placing that down. We're going to zone a bit more residential in this sort of area here, because there is a tiny bit of demand for it. Yeah, that works. This cemetery somehow has power, probably from the industrial sector, but I didn't realise. It was a complete oversight on my part. And bam, just connect those guys up so they'll be a little bit happier. And my cat was saved by a smoke detector. Fab. So we've had that in place for a little while now, and it is costing us money, but it does seem to be helping. I think we've only had 2 or 3 fires in the whole city the whole time we've been sort of playing. So that's definitely making a difference. And unfortunately, we're having power issues again. So bam, just drop one of those in, just to tie us over for a little bit longer until we hit that 7,500 mark, and we're going to get those incineration plants in, because they're going to be absolutely huge. I don't even know what this guy is. I'm assuming he's a police station or something like that. So we'll have some commercial buildings just to nestle him in a little bit, and then bam, more residential again. There's demand for it. We need to keep building it. So up to there, that's fine, because I don't want anyone building too far out into this little tiny corner, because they do that and then they don't connect to the grid, and then they have no power at all, and then they complain about it, and global happiness goes down, and then people don't want to move here, and it's just a complete cascade failure. So fuck that. But because it's connected at both sides, I am just going to do it anyway. So bam, see, like this guy, just this guy, completely in the middle of nowhere. But thankfully enough, we do have sort of reasonable links to everything anyway. We do have a little bit of cash, so I'm going to drop in another elementary school up here. Maybe that works, and maybe these guys will get elementary and high schools, potentially even a university when we get sort of further in. And that'll be like our really educated, really wealthy people, right next to hell, obviously. Why not? And then these guys, this will be like the old town. A lot of people have a habit of naming it the old town. You know, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it now. The old town. I'm probably doing it at just about the worst angle I possibly could, just to clarify. Scribble all of this in. Umber Hills. No. Old Town Dangus. That's what we're going to call it. So the Old Town Dangus. A lot of these people are kind of happy. They're not brilliant, probably due to garbage piling up and stuff like that, but they'll get there. They'll get there. I'm not too worried about it for the time being. I am kind of worried about this though. I'm pleased with the fact that we are slowly but surely ticking towards the 7,500 mark, which is great. Water treatment. I'm going to drop in another one of these and drop in another one of these. Hopefully we won't have to fuck around too much. No, nice and easy. And bam. Nice and easy. And that's boosted that right up. We're in the green again, so that's fine. Power. We're producing 191 of 169. So I'm just going to keep us clear by adding in just another one of those. See, just to get us out of that yellow. I don't want us sitting there for too long because then I forget about it and all of a sudden we have a power crisis halfway across the city and I can't do anything about it because I don't have any money. No one's paying taxes because they're unhappy with the city. So keep an eye on that one. There's a lot of people that are very, very unhappy in this area, probably due to poor health. So we're going to get a privately owned one. Just as soon as it ticks up, bam, and they're really happy again. It's privately owned, so it doesn't cost us a lot of money, which is fine. But these guys are pretty unhealthy as well. Where's the health tab? I don't even know why. They should be gravy. Hang on, are these people dead? A dead person is waiting for transport. Right, so that's the problem down in this area. We've got a cemetery. We've got a cemetery with 164 people in it, and all of the hearses are in use, so maybe it's time for another one, just to keep on top of the demand, because otherwise people are going to start getting sick because, you know, there's a dead person living in their home, and we'll get rid of one of those dead people in the process. We'll just demolish the house. Our vacation was extended. Could someone water the plants while we're gone? The flower, bam. People are really happy. It's a really safe city. Garbage is piling up. I know, we're so close. And we've kind of maxed out this area in here now. So I'm just going to, for the sake of being really fucking cheeky, just going to make this god-awful road in here. Add in some more residential. We lost some people in the process of doing that. But some more people will move in. They'll be happier. Bam, we're so close. We need the money. We need the money for the incineration plants. So bad. I think I'm... There we go, bam. Level 5. Education boost. Different policies there. High densities now be unlocked. And the incineration plant, which is the big one. That's what we want. There's also the prison and the sauna. Saunas are good. They increase your people's happiness. But I'm not too worried about that for the time being. I'm going to get one right in there, which is going to make people really unhappy. But they're going to have to get over it. They're 30 grand a pop. You are shitting me. Okay, let's go back up to 3 speed. We'll be there in no time. Because we're making 3 grand a week, you know. That's not a small amount of money. I mean, it's 2020, so we've been going for, you know, 3.5 years at this point. We're doing good. We are doing much better than I normally do. Normally by this point, I'm either bored or something's just broken and I can't fix it. So we'll get this incineration plant down and then we're just going to let it tick over for a little while. We're literally just going to let it tick over for a while. And, you know, we've got an incineration plant over here. You know, should we even up the budget for garbage collection day and night? 110%. More vehicles they can send out. Great. 110%. And that means we're spending the most money of everything is going into, you know, garbage collection. Considering how much power we're using and stuff like that. That's pretty incredible. But hopefully, that'll sort it out. Obviously, people are going to get sick because this thing is just going to belch out pure pollution. It's already doing it, along with these guys as well. So we might have to get some more medical centres in. But for the time being, we should be gravy. So, I'm going to let this tick over for a couple of minutes. I'm going to go mute. I'll probably fast forward it and just let it tick over. Okay, so I'm going to cut that last part out. All I pretty much did was let it run for a little while, paid off our loan so that we could then take them again, which gives us a nice little cash injection. and we're going to have a little play around with roads. So I'm going to get a large roundabout. I'm going to raise it up off the ground because it's going to cost £1 million to do that. And then we're going to get a small one just in here when we can. I might have to manually build it, which would be a ball ache, but it's entirely possible for us to do that. So I'm just going to get rid of this, 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 and this. I'm going to get some highway on and off ramps. Bam. Bam. Just to connect that up. So that's now connected to the city. We're going to get a big old 6-lane road just to come up and join there. So that gives us sort of one half of what we want to do. We're then going to have this piece here, way down to here, just into here, and then we're going to have 2-lane roads coming off of it. Now what this section is going to be is commercial and industrial sector, and that's it. That's all this is going to be. So we're going to get rid of all of that heavy industry we've got up in the hell zone, and we're literally just going to delete the whole thing. So I'm going to do that now. Well, I'm not going to do it just yet for the simple fact that I don't want to cripple the city in the meantime. We need that money coming in. But, and then out to here, we're literally just going to have it come all the way down. Bam. 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 So that gives us a huge new canvas to grow the city on. And this is going to be super high density all the way through. And we're going to have it almost spiral. And this is going to be really high density. And then we're just going to interconnect them within the sort of spiral shape. And we're out of money. Just like that, we're out of money. And we're not even close. We're not even close because we still need to get water pipes over here. We still need to build up this industry over here. And there's literally nothing I can do about it. So we're going to have some pipes come across. Bam. Bam. And I'm literally just going to drop in just a swathe of high density residential along this quay, as we've traditionally done here in Quayside, and they're just going to shoot up. We have so much demand for it, they are just going to shoot up. So bam, 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 bam. We're going to run some power lines over. Just right over the river. They're going to connect those up, and sort of in between here, bam, bam, bam. And I'm aware this is a mess. I am completely aware that these roads are messy and they're kind of ugly, but it looks a bit more natural because it's not super gritty, and that's a big deal. That is a huge deal in this game, because otherwise it just looks ugly. Like, this is the ugliest part of the city, and we're going to make it the richest part of the city with these low density housing. But there's nothing we can do. That's the kind of the way you have to grow the city early on in the game. That's kind of the way it has to go. So just going to drop in some low density. In fact, no, we're not. We're going to get rid of that straight away. That's banned. And we're just going to get a little tiny bit of this high density commercial property in and around here. Not up against the highway. Well, a highway. Not against that super high density road. And along here, just to spread the power grid, because otherwise it's going to cuck us, as I'm sure you're all aware, screaming at me at home. Oh shit, shit indeed. Right, and then just one more, because we're just going to concentrate on this section for the time being. And then a building's burned down, people are unhappy about it, they'll move on. And then we'll come down here and we'll just bam, 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 and off of here, up to here, across here. And like I said, I'm aware this is a goddamn mess, and you probably hate me. But it's the easiest way to do it. For me, this is the easiest way to do it because it means that it's not just that ugly, same old grid, which we just do not want, not even in the slightest. So going to get a little tiny bit of office space up here, which is going to cause a real big need for some more education, which I'm going to literally just drop in there now. Education, there it is, over in this sector here. So bam and bam, and that gives us pretty good coverage in that area and over here as well. I mean, obviously there's a little tiny bit down here, but that's not a big deal. We don't have too much to worry about in terms of that. We've zoned some more residential, which looks really cool across the river, in the same way as so does this kind of low density sector. We've got this raging river going through the middle of, which we can have a little play around with dams with later on in the game. It's probably a terrible idea, so I'll have to mess around with landscaping, flood half the city in the process, but maybe, just maybe, we can make it work. It's going to have another ugly power line going across here, and they want some more water, which again, we can oblige to. And the thing is, with these office zones and stuff like that, they're so high density that you only have to place a few of them to make up for the need. It's not actually that big a deal. You know, so bam. And they generate massive amounts of income for us as well, which is huge. It's absolutely huge. So I'm going to click into Old Town Gang. Dang, it's toggle traffic routes view, specializations. There aren't any policies. Right. So over here, we want to use, what is it? Taxation, city planning, heavy traffic ban, bike ban, sidewalks, Old Town. Only residents and business can use the area for motor vehicles. Ban other motor traffic. Bam. So that way we don't have to worry too much about that kind of thing. We're also potentially going to want tax relief for low density residential, tax relief for low density commercial, because we need those small businesses to do well. And that's the type of thing you'd have in a small area of, you know, an original city. It's, like I said, a natural way of growing. These guys are struggling for workers massively, not enough educated workers. Okay, not a problem. Let's have a look at high schools. There we go. How much is a high school? It's 24,000. We're basically there already. We've just got to find somewhere to fit it in. And obviously, ideally, I don't want it up against the hell zone, but it's going to have to do for the time being. So we'll drop that in there, and we are going to start sort of de-zoning this here. We don't want any of this heavy industry anymore. We want offices. They're better for the economy. They're better for health. They're massive in terms of that. So, bam, we'll get rid of that as well. We've obviously still got this garbage tip, but we're gonna empty that. So, I'm just gonna pause because we've just hit big town, 10k people. And growing. Obviously with this high density, this is going to make a massive difference. So, what do I want? Garbage, incineration plant. Bam, just get another one of those in there. And then we're going to go into here and start emptying. And you as well, start emptying. You've got multiple problems. I know, it's bad. We're going to get there, don't worry. So, drop that in there. The other thing as well we need to consider is getting these guys hooked up with services, which we're going to try to do very soon. Obviously, we don't want to leave them stranded for too long. And bam, 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 bam. And again, I stress, I know it's a mess. I know it's ugly. It's supposed to be. It's just... That's how I want it to look. I want it to look messy and a bit crazy and not completely uniform. Because it just looks boring if you do that. And we're going to boost up the speed on it. And we're actually losing money. I don't know how we're losing money. I assume it's due to lack of industry. which we're going to fill out with more offices along here. But the one thing we do not want to be doing at this point is losing any money at all. We need that money to be coming in so that we can continue to grow. I'm going to try and keep stuff off of this main highway or connection, should I say. So get rid of that, that's fine. A little bit messy, but it's not really that big a deal. And that's sated that need and brought us back up into the green. So that's great. And we're going to slowly but surely try and get rid of this in terms of sort of moving forward. We're going to get a couple of parks in here. Bam. Because as I said before, I want this to be a bit higher land value, a bit more educated than the rest of the city. It doesn't help we've got this god-awful plant down here. In fact, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to get rid of all of this around here because it's just going to be polluted, dead, and people will just die and soak up resources sitting in that kind of area. So I'll get rid of all of this around here. And it will look a bit barren, it will look a bit weird, but it's whatever. It is whatever. Alright, so kind of clean that up a little bit. We're going to keep the medical centre over there. We're going to keep the park over there as well. I can't see it being too much of a problem. Obviously, we lost a lot of people in doing that, so we're going to have to rezone high density. And it might even be worth having a little play around with taxes at this point for the high density residential areas, just to bring them up a little bit. For the simple fact that otherwise we might be in a position where we can't grow the city because we don't have the cash. And I do not want to be in that position. I don't want to be stranded, cashless, you know, dead economy. That's not where we want to be. This very tip up here is going to be a bit more service based. So we'll have offices out to this intersection here. Bam, bam, bam. Fuck it, we're going to have them up against the highway. Doesn't matter. And that's going to have, you know, an incineration plant up there, more sewage outflow, more power, for example. And it's going to look a bit barren and weird, so we'll come up to here, but we'll leave that very coastal part just alone. We'll just leave that little section there to be for that express purpose, and that way we should be good. A lot of these look a bit crappy, but a lot of them also look kind of cool. I think they're from the European tile set. I'm not 100%, so please don't quote me on it. But I kind of like the way they look. They look pretty damn good. There's lots of traffic coming up and down this big old roundabout. A lot of industrial traffic, unfortunately, which is, I believe, trying to get into this part of the city here, which is completely clogged. Completely clogged. To ever-loving fuck. So we're going to get rid of some more industry because it's just destroying the traffic. That is where all of this traffic is coming from. Heavy goods, it's coming from that. Obviously, we've got high density commercial up in that far end of the city now. Not a lot of it, but we have got some of it. So some of these structures, what are they? That's a police station. That's gone. I think that's an incineration plant. And they guys don't even have power now, so we're just gonna destroy it all. We're just gonna get rid of the whole of the industrial sector. Just completely wipe it. Just completely wipe it. We're gonna do a squad wipe. Get rid of all the industry because we don't need it anymore. We're not going to rely on it anymore. It's so pollutive. And you can see already it's started to clean up around this area here where we've had it gotten rid of for a little while. So it's not that big a deal. We can make it work. This guy, he's fine. We are just going to connect these two up like that. Although I think he's about to disappear. No, he's good. And these are all connected up to power. That's connected to power via that. That's fine. Right. So we're gravy. We're losing a lot of money. A lot of money. And it's going to be that way probably for a little while. We're going to have to kind of make do for a little while. But we'll keep growing. We'll keep building up. And I'm going to let this kind of run for a little bit. See if it levels out. Hopefully it will. I pray. I pray. I'm going to zone some more of this stuff before we go. Just massive amounts of high density residential and again commercial. Other people, should I no, moving out? Okay, so people are pretty unhappy with dead people as well. That's kind of understandable. I can see where they're coming from in terms of that, but we'll get there. We'll get there, and we'll address some of the problems in the city next time. Traffic is obviously a big issue on these big old roundabouts, and even on this tiny little roundabout, it's hell. So maybe we should rename hell to not hell and just fucking delete it. But we'll get there. And if we can't address the problems, fuck it, we'll start over. It doesn't matter. That's the great thing about city builders, is you always have the option to start over. So thank you very much for watching this episode. We've done another 2 years this episode, if you can believe that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.